Like many of his fellow Peruvians, Art set out to create a new life in Chicago, where his family began applying to become legal residents. But fate again intervened in 1952, as Art was drafted to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces, despite the fact that he was still classified as an illegal alien. Though he served his duty in Europe during the Korean War, Art would not be granted permanent residency until 1956.
When I come back from the Army, you guys were living here.
After returning from service, Art soon married a young woman named Betty. Together, they started a family of their own. After working for several years as an auto mechanic in Chicago, Art brought his family out to California and started his own service station in San Jose, where he eventually retired. And though World War II had long since ended, for Art and the former internees, their long struggle would not fade with retirement.
The legislation that I am about to sign provides for a restitution payment to each of the 60,000 survivors, surviving Japanese Americans, of the 120,000 who were relocated or detained. Yet no payment can make up for those lost years. So what is most important in this bill has less to do with property than with honor. For here we admit a wrong. Here we reaffirm our commitment as a nation to equal justice under the law.
However, Art was denied justice. Under this law, Japanese Latin Americans were deemed ineligible for redress, as they were not U.S. citizens or residents at the time of internment.
But now, you know, it's not like we wanted to come here. We didn't want to come here. We were forced to come here. We were brought here by the government. So how can that be illegal? That don't make sense.
In an effort to call attention to their hidden history and to support efforts for redress, the Campaign for Justice was formed.
The Campaign for Justice started in 1996, and it was founded by individuals and organizations who wanted to seek redress for Japanese Latin Americans. It was founded during the time of the Mochizuki lawsuit when that was filed, which sought to get redress for Japanese Latin Americans who were denied under the Civil Liberties Act.
In response to public pressure, the Department of Justice offered a settlement of only $5,000 each, just 1/4 of the $20,000 redress provided to the Japanese Americans.
I wanted to get the equal justice. I wanted to regain the dignity for my parents.
While supporting the decision of those who accepted the settlement, Art Shibayama, along with several others, chose to opt out of the settlement. He then filed his own lawsuit, preferring to fight for both redress and a full disclosure of the violations committed by the United States during World War II.
Until the crime is over, meaning it has been fully acknowledged and fully compensated, it is ongoing.
Despite his efforts, Art was once again denied justice. His case was dismissed in the final months of 2002. Having exhausted their efforts through domestic courts, Art and the campaign have appealed to the international community by filing a petition with the Organization of American States. In addition to the legal route, the campaign is also pursuing a congressional resolution which would resolve all remaining redress issues. This includes granting equitable redress for the former internees and providing educational funding, as originally mandated by the 1988 Civil Liberties Act.
The significance of the Wartime Parity and Justice Act is to try to finally write the final lines of that chapter in American history. And we need to do it soon, because there aren't too many people living today who can tell you from their personal experience what we did.
This marker is situated on the original foundation of the two-family cottage as a reminder that this injustice and humiliations suffered here as a result of hysteria, racism, and discrimination never happen again.